Please switch it back to two. You know, to one. That's one. Now. Oh, send another link at me. Okay, just send me the link. I'm trying to update. I'm trying to update the link. Yeah, if you can hear me, just drop one on the comment section. If you can hear me, drop one on the comment section. If you know you can hear me, just drop one on the comment section. All right, good afternoon, guys. I hope you all are doing great, and welcome you all to our live session. By the special grace of God, we're going to be having this every week, right? We're going to be doing this every week. So we just want to make sure that you are very much active and then come in as well to what? To get blessed and make money as well too. So if you know you can hear me loud and clear, please drop one on the comment section. Like I said, if you can hear me loud and clear, drop one. So before I proceed, if you are there and you can hear me loud and clear, just drop one on the comment. So before I proceed, okay? So So if you can hear me, okay, good, 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 good. Active to me here. So basically, right, the reason why we're actually putting on this live session is to make sure that what we are carrying everyone along, right? So we can actually look into this financial market together and making sure that what we analyze and make money. Because on your own, sometimes you might not be able to probably figure out what to do, especially if you do not have the skill. So, but for the fact, yeah, I can assure you by the grace of God that we are going to be analyzing this market, having a clear breakdown on any currency pair, commodity, or any asset for us to be able to look in and be able to see potential what possible opportunity. So the most important thing before we delve into the chart is making sure that what you actually consistent, you are focused, you are determined to say, yes, this is exactly what I want to do. Because if you are not consistent enough and you are not disciplined and determined, trust me, there is no way you are actually going to be what getting the results you want. The result I have today now is as a result of what the doggedness, right? The tough push, the consistency, and the fact that I know that this is exactly what I wanted, and that's why you actually see me doing what I'm doing here today. So for you too, as a trader, if you know that yeah, you really want to get something from this market, trust me, the market is going to push you, the market is going to break you. But the fact that you can stay consistent and the fact that you're telling yourself that yes, this is exactly what I want to do, and you love what you are doing, whether win or loss, definitely you are actually going to what achieve those results that you actually want. So now, today, we're just going to be looking into the market. We're not going to be talking much, right? Just going to be looking into the charts, see what we can possibly do, possible projection for any instrument that you want us to look into, and then what to make money. So if possible for gold, which is our number one favorite pair, if there's any opportunity lower time frame, trust me, we are going in, right? They're also going to be doing analysis on other asset classes that we can actually what project for the course of the week. So it is for you to be active while I'm also active, so we can make money. If you do yourself, then it's on you, right? So has anyone made money from the market this week? Has anyone made money from the market this week? Already the market opened last night, right? And some persons already made money already. So if you've made money, let me see you on the chart. If you've made money already, this week, let me see on the chat. Because trust me, guys are already making money. I have people here already who have made money low key from the market. So if you feel like you've actually made money on the chat, let me see you on the comment section. Let's see. If you made money, let me know. So let's take a good look at the market. Let's take a good look at the market. All right. So that can you guys actually see my screen? Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, just drop one in the comment section. Let me know. I want to make sure that everyone is being carried along. Everyone is actually following. So it now look like I'm just talking to myself. I want to make sure that every one of us is actually what following. So if you can see my screen, just drop one. If you can see my screen, drop one. Okay. All right. So basically, if we take a good look at the gold market, right? A lot of persons have been actually projecting that well, gold is going to buy, especially at the point whereby we had what's it called? This Iran and American war, right? A lot of persons were just screaming, gold is going to buy, gold is going to buy, then start buying and buying and buying and buying. The funniest part is we are buying. Matters. Did the market actually did that? No. So that is to tell you that, like, irrespective of what will happen in our economies or maybe economies of a particular country, right? The most important thing is you paying attention to your technical analysis, focusing on what on the chart, because it is the chart that you're actually trading. You're not just trading the news that are being projected out there blindly. You are trading what you are seeing in the market for you to be able to make money. So now, trust me, if we actually paid attention to the market, right, we will definitely see that in every particular key zone there will always be a reaction. Now, if you take a good look at what happened here, when that news issue came up, I think it was last week, last 2 weeks, Saturday. As at on Sunday, Monday, when the market opened, the market literally respected the key zone, right? And the key zone the market respected was as a result of what that zone was significant. If it was not significant, there is no way price will actually what to respect that zone. And that is why you need to look into your technical analysis, right? Now, if you take a good look at on the H1 time frame, for instance, you can agree with me now that this area here was a significant zone because the market at the point when the market pulled back, the market made a pullback there and then left that zone there. And you can clearly see that what the market did break structure here. So now if you remember when we talk about price action, it's usually what past data to what to speculate or predict what future prices. So we had a break of structure there, and then price made this point become a supply, which is actually a key zone. So now what did the market do? At the point where the market reacted on that, got to that particular zone, and what did the market do? It dropped. While we were all clamoring and shouting and saying that we'll be looking for gold to buy based on the news that the dollar is going to drop and then the gold is going to be pumping, what did we see? We literally saw this dump. And that is the reality of the market. So while you focus on the fundamentals or maybe the news event that are coming up to, you still need to what pay attention to what to your what's it called your chart, because that's what you're looking to make money. So while we're looking into the chart at the moment now, we can clearly see that what the market literally did. Market came back what and then took out this low. Or taking out this low now, what happened is we're just being stuck in between what this particular high, this high we're seeing here, this low here, and then what this low, this low we're seeing. Now the question is, what is the next thing that we're going to be doing? Are we supposed to be looking for buys, or we're going to be looking for sell? So, like I think I made one analysis on this particular set of currency and commodity, and I posted it on my Instagram. Right? What did I do there? I literally was expecting that what the market will respect this supply point to further dump, to drop and take out the low. But the thing here is here, the market will just kept on going up and down and up and down. So for any reason, if I actually want to look into buying, for instance, now, the most important thing that will make me want to look for buy is when I see that price actually fill this particular zone here. If price be looking out for price what hitting the next possible zone for continuation. Yes, structure. Because if you look at this substructure now, you see that when price moved tap into that key zone, price tap into that key zone, what happened? Price drop, make a pullback again, tapping into inefficiencies, and then what? Drop, taking at the low. Was just minor pullback and then break of structure, a pullback again. This was a deep pullback and then a break of structure. So for every reason, if we should actually even look at thinking of we want to be looking at buying the market, then this particular substructural supply should eventually should actually fail. So if it should fail, that is where we cannot look into what buying from this region here, which is a key zone. Now this area now, all the guys here, the buyers here are associated in what taking at this high for us to look to what look into buying from demand and then continue, right? But at this moment now, you can clearly see that what we are just being stuck in between the zone, right? We're just stuck in between this particular zone here and this loop. Now the question here is, as a trader who you have actually been before, right? Or you are at the moment now, will you not want to just be trading inside this zone blindly? No, what you're simply seeing right now is what a correction. This is a correction. So for every reason, what you're going to be doing is what looking out for what trades within this zone here. You just need to be looking out for trade within this zone here and just be doing your things. Taking the short trade, buy and sell on the lower time frame, because at this point now, there is no way you are going to be taking any trade that you are saying you want to be looking out for. You are buying, for instance, from here now, and you are looking into going up, or maybe you are selling and you are looking at to just what keep on holding. No, because right now the market is stuck in between these low and this. So now let me remove everything. Let's see. Let's make a chart. Let me close that on. Let me remove this one. Let me remove this. Take out everything from here. So now, after taking out everything, let me put this. Let me put this on the line chart, for instance. So if you have it on a line chart, what can you see? You can obviously see that what we have these what's it called? These points. We're having this point, and then we're having this particular. Now, for instance you understand trading, let's say impulse and correction, you know the way the market moves. The market moves in either impulse, correction, impulse to the upside, which is a bullish move, or what? An impulse, pullback, and then impulse for the bearish move, right? So now clearly see now, if you take a good look at what is happening here, take a good look at what is happening in this region now, you can clearly see how the market was making series of way for the impulse and correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, and impulse. Now, this is a series of what? A bearish configuration, which is a making series of lower lows and lower highs. Now, For you to look for a buy, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be making what you have a shift to the opposite side, right? Which is going to be giving you what a higher low continuation. Now, since you can see from the line chart now, you can clearly see that on the M30 time frame, for instance, now, the market has not taken up any significant high. The market has just been what? There, just between this high here and this particular low, it has just been stalling. Meaning that what? We are in a what? A corrective market. Now, it is until we have a break of the high, right? A pullback, and then further continuation, we cannot say we are now in an uptrend. Because if the uptrend is actually going to be starting, number one, it's going to start with the lower time frame, a period for maybe gear one, gear two, gear three, just like the way we are driving. But then, if the momentum is actually going to kick in for you to see your overall direction of view, then you need what? The higher time frame to do that, for you to know where the market is actually coming from and where it's actually heading to. But then on the substructure where you need to get your own personal entries, you can clearly see that what there is no setup and there is no what proper dimension for you to go into the market. Now that simply means that what all we're going to be doing in this region now is just going to be looking out for what short and scalp trading, right? So now let's go back to our candlestick. So if you take a look at the candlestick, for instance, we can now say on the what's it called on the 5 minute on the 30 minutes, look into this stuff and on the 30 minutes, we have this low in anticipation to be taken out, have this low, and then we have this high. So out of these highs and low now, one will be taken out either today or tomorrow or next, depending on when the market is ready for a momentum, right? So what are we going to be looking at for? All we're going to be looking at for right now is saying that okay, structures, right? Structures within this particular region. Now, let's be, I'm going to make it so simple and clear for you to be able to. When the market started moving from here, we had a high, another low, a high again, a low, a high, a low, and then a high. Now, at this particular point, we had a shift, right? When we had a shift here, the market failed to make a new high, right? And then what happened next? The price dumped. So on dropping, what it simply means that what we have this low and this particular high as the range. Now what happened next now? The price has actually pushed to the upside and still failed to take out this high and been rejected at what? Taking at this low. So now price is actually taking at this low here, and this is where we are sitting at the moment. So what does that tell us? It means that what this particular high here is supposed to be protected, and this low is supposed to be weak because it was this high now that took out this particular low here. So let me highlight that one, which it becomes what a break of structure, right? So please follow through so that you get the understanding of everything we're saying properly. Yes. Okay. So now let's take out that too. So what are we going to be seeing now right now? So since price has actually taken out this low now, it is expected that what price will pull back and then fill in efficiencies from here and then drop. But that does that not mean that we're going to be jumping into the market blindly? No. We're still going to make sure that we're looking at what the candlesticks are going to be saying on this particular region for us to further go into the market. And how we're going to do that? We're going to be doing that on lower time frame, which is probably in the 5 minutes time frame. So let's go into the 5 minutes time frame. So on the 5 minutes time frame now, we can clearly see that the price is making series of what of price is making series of so price is making series of lows and was sorry, why is this thing echoing back? Can you guys hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just drop one on the comment section. If you can hear me, kind of lagging. Please, if you can hear me and see my screen, just drop one in the comment section. There was a little issue on the technical side. If you can hear me, just drop one in the comment section. If you can hear me and you can see my screen. All right, good. So basically, now what we're going to be doing right now is what looking at for what from entries on this particular 5 minutes time frame. So basically, now we all know now that price is actually taking at this low, and then we're supposed to be anticipating that price should what sell. But for any reason we don't know, market might choose to do anything and still just continue breaking. But we're going to be trading off our own personal edge. The edge is the sense that what we're going to be seeing what we can actually, what we understand, and what has given us help us make more. So for me personally, what I'm going to be looking at for on this 5 minutes time frame is this. You can see that we have a break of structure already from this point. Price has actually pulled back, right? And if we want to look into the pullback, for instance, now we can use our Fibonacci tool, for instance, here to measure the range if we have actually entered our premium side. And as you can see, price already what? Price has already tapped into the premium side, which is in between 61 and 78% Fibonacci level, right? And then, so when we look into structures too, let's do this. A high, a low, and then price make another high, right? So inside this particular high now, this particular low, that way too. So that means that what price can equally respect this particular region here because we have a demand inside this zone here. We have a demand that price can actually respect and then take out this high again before we further see any buys. So, but right now, as we can see, that the market is actually bullish, sorry, bearish, or currently buying at the moment. So, all I'm going to be looking out for is for now, due to the fact that we're actually trying to do a short trade, I'm not going to hold in trade for long. All I just want to do is read in and break out. So I will focusing on key zones too, that price might eventually want to react from before further. So if you take a good look at here, you will see that we have a demand zone here, right? We have a demand zone here. Why is that the demand zone? Because here we have a break of structure. We had a little break of structure here, and then price made this high, right? Then pull back. So this demand area now, price has not actually mitigated it, right? Price has not mitigated this area. So if price will come into this key zone now, all we're going to be looking at for is how price is going to react. Obviously, for us to be going for the price. Buy and where are we buying to? We're buying to take on this particular high because now the market is in between. The range is in between this low, this particular low here, right, and this particular high. So anything I'm going to be doing within this terrain now is for me to be able to, if I'm seeing an entry from this zone here, is to buy and take my profit out of this high. Nothing more than that, right? Then the same way too, if we're selling, then I know that what I'm selling, I'm targeting this particular low. That is exactly what we're going to be looking at for. So right now, all I'm going to be doing is what patiently wait for what's it called? Market to come into our key zone, right? To tap into this area for me to look for a buy. And then if you actually take out this particular high now, all I'm going to look at is what to see that price will pull back, then we're eventually looking for what is sell. So for SAUSD, that is exactly what I'm going to be looking at. Now, the only time I'm going to be doing swing trading or maybe full day trading is when price what take out this particular high, this low, or when we have this high taken. We have this high taken, I'll expect a pullback for further continuation. So if for any reason now we don't have any what's it called break or structure out of this zone and then a continuation. So that is my focus on the 5 minutes time frame. Right, that's my focus on the 5 minutes time frame. Oh, sorry. So and also I'm looking at for what's it called other instruments, right? That might have possible swing opportunity. Last week we missed out. We actually missed out on US 30, right? I don't know. Some person might actually hit the sales to, but we missed out on fit from our main point. We're expecting that price should come into a key zone, but the pricing actually, why? Because we're actually using a different source, and the source we're using was giving us a different data. So what I would have actually done on US 30, which is this, that here. Okay, I was actually using Forex here. So I was actually looking at price pulling back into this particular zone here, right? For us to sell. But eventually, unfortunately for us, price tapped into this supply here, and then my packet price actually dropped from there. So that does not mean that I will just start jumping into trade. What I'm going to be doing is what reevaluate. And when I actually did my evaluation and look into other figures, what did I see? I went straight to look for S30 FXCM, FXCM, yeah. And FXCM made me understand that that zone I was actually looking at for a buy, for a sale, sorry, was just a minus. So for a year on the FXCM, this was actually the supply. I actually even tapped into the supply and then dropped. So that would have been a very sweet sell for us last week too, but then we missed it. So this week now, all we're going to be doing is focusing on gold, for instance, for now, because every other instrument I'm actually looking at for now, they don't have it set up yet already for us yet. We don't have it set up already that we are expecting that, okay, we'll be seeing something meaningful. Let me look at you and see on each one. Or is there any pair that you guys are looking into that you want us to look into together? Just drop that in the comment section. Oh, you can't hear me? How about now? Can you hear me? Can you not hear me? Can you guys hear me now? Please, if you can hear me, just drop one in the comment section. Let me know if you can actually hear me. Drop one in the comment section. I say this network is lagging. Yeah, lagging. So my major key zone for entry now is gonna be here. If price will come back into the zone, I'm looking at taking out the zone. If that fails, I'll look into the next the Monday here. Right. How about that area here too? I'm gonna look at. So basically, all I'm just focusing on what is structures and what liquidity, nothing more than that. Structure, liquidity, and I'm going to be keeping it simple. Now, anytime we have price coming into this zone, for instance, what I'm going to be doing is what just delve into the Telegram channel and update it. So if you're not in the Telegram channel, make sure you actually subscribe to the channel so you'll be getting updates on what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be ending the sessions here. Then in our subsequent class next week, We're also going to be doing overall view. I know a lot of persons that are not very much active here today now because we didn't do a perform information or details about this section. So, but for next week, we're going to be making sure that what we are alerting everyone to get prepared, and so we can come and analyze and make sure that we're what learning together. So from this particular point now, this zone here is where I'm going to be focusing on. I'm going to be updating some Telegram channel. Stay active, stay blessed, and then we'll see you guys inside.